Hello, good afternoon. This is Joan Sewing Room. How are you all today? Well, what do you think? I have been working on this for 2 weeks since the last time I saw you. And I have gone through many different backgrounds and I could not find one that I liked. It made it too busy. And then I was looking at a picture of a tree on a quilt, and it was obviously collage, and it had some grass at the bottom, and that's what I'm going to do here, but it'll be a collage grass. And that was it. And it had a white background, and I thought, you know what? I think I wasn't focusing on the actual, I was focusing on the tree, but I was so caught up in trying to put a river and mountains and everything behind it. And I just came to, a realization, I guess you could say, and think, the whole thing is about this quilt. It's a family tree. It's not a story. I'm not trying to tell a story. And so as soon as I figured that out, the pressure and whatever just came off of me, because I have been toiling with this. I even took a picture. I made a picture of this, 8 by 10. I took pictures of the fabrics that I wanted to use in the back of the tree. And I cut them out like mountains and rivers and, and grass. And I would stick it behind the tree. And I worked on that for like 4 hours on Tuesday. And I could not get it to go. It's like when I am designing or creating or whatever it is, there's just a certain piece about me when I accomplish what I'm trying to do. And there was no peace that on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I went back and I thought, okay, well, actually, before, let's see, it was Friday, either Friday or Saturday or something of this past week. And I had gotten to the point thinking, well, all right, I found some blue fabric, that would be the sky. I found some green, and that would be, and so I just laid the strips of fabric across. And then blue for the river, and more green for the bank. And the first two bottoms I sewed on, and it looked ridiculous. And I sent it to my friend who always, gives me advice when it comes to my quilts, or on a lot of things. But anyway, and she kind of liked it actually. And I said, no, I can't do that. I can't make a quilt with just pieces of fabric that goes across. I know you can do a lot when it comes to the quilting, and you can make the water look like water, and all that stuff. But I was getting away from the point. I was getting away from the family tree and creating more something like a story. And it's not a story. It's just a family quilt, and getting away from the subject, the tree and the leaves, or the trunk is the home and the leaves are the people. And then, so anyway, that's why my background is blank. And then also trying to find fabric big enough. So this is like 70 by 80. And I had it in my stash, and I was just kind of panicking. And I do have interior fabrics on rolls, and I would cut that, put it on there. No, that wouldn't work. I put it on the back side of it. No, you know how that goes. And sometimes it'll take us weeks to figure out what we're gonna do. So then I thought, well, how am I going to get this paper? Because I said it just will peel off. It does peel off, but I found too that the seam to seam does stick to the butcher paper. So if you were to do this, I mean, I use butcher paper because I had it, and I didn't have a lot of parchment paper. But if you were to do this, you could do it with parchment paper. And also, I'm sure, you know, you can do it right on the surface of your fabric that you're working on. So anyway, I had gone ahead and I said, oh, I'm just going to use what I have, and that's usually the way I roll. Whatever I have, I use. And so I, of course, took my fabric and I made it very taut on the wall. And I was thinking, now, how am I going to roll this paper up? So what I did, and of course I had cut the paper because when I was putting the background on, I needed to see more, you know, through the trees. And you know, actually, and I don't know if it would work, but I think what was happening too with my background, I was making my background as big as my tree. And that's not right. And now that I think about it, the background, I mean, I could still change it. I could do a collage background, but the background should have been small, not gigantic, because this is in the foreground and your background would be in the background, right? And so it would have been a small river and a small mountains and that sort of thing. But I just couldn't. I just, you know how it gets. I don't know about you all, but with me, I'm pushing myself. I said, I gotta get this, I gotta make a film, I gotta make a video. I haven't made a video, and I've been pushing myself, and I just feel like I haven't gotten anything achieved lately. I'm working on a white bag right now, and I'm dealing with that because yesterday, you know, it was all going good, and then on the front part, oh, there's a little blue spot. Where did that come from? And then on the back, oh, there's a, you know, one of those. So now I got to take that white purse apart, or I figured maybe if I wash it, you know, put the purse together and then wash it, you know, put like spray and wash it, maybe those spots will come out. So anyway, I'm in a dilemma with that. And so what I was going to do, so like as you can see what I'm doing here, what I was talking about, I was rolling this up, and so my whole thing is if I could get, now this is my thinking, if I could get the paper to go behind the tree, then I could just peel it off. And in some cases it did kind of work like that. But I use lots of layers of fabric. And so you kind of forget, you know, you put it there and then you put something over it, and before you know it, you got like, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 layers of fabric, and then when you go to peel it off, you're peeling off the layers. So that's what was happening. And plus some of the seam, like I said, was coming off as I was peeling, and I was peeling that off the butcher paper and putting it back on. But I also have a glue stick, and so I've learned with this glue stick too, it works similar to seam, and you just put it on there and then you can hit it with an iron and it sticks, you know, better, or it just sticks until I get it totally ironed on. And most likely I'll need to break out the seam and redo some of the pieces. So, because I, you know, obviously don't want this falling off of my quilt when I'm going to quilt or whatever, you know, I want it secure on it. So what I was going to do here on this side is I was going to show you how I'm doing it. I'm not peeling it. I tried peeling it, like I said, So what I'm doing is I'm pinning it. I cut away the white butcher paper, and I'm peeling off the branches, and then I'm cutting as I go. So I figured I would try to show this to you how I'm doing it, and then get it done. I really wanted to share this with you, and it's not that hard, you know, and if the branch comes off, you can always just put it back on. So, I mean, I would love for it to peel off with like a giant sticker, you know what I mean? And then I had visions of it just sticking to my face, like when you do bubble gum, or you have a sticker, and the wind hits it. I don't know. I'm just like, I guess you, I have a strange imagination. I guess we all do. But also what I was going to say is, with this, I had to come up with an idea of how was I going to get this. If I roll it up, how am I going to get it to stay up there? And so what I did was I came up with this idea with this long string. And at the bottom it has like a ring on it, so it kind of weighs it down. And the string has, every 5 or 6 inches has a loop. So what I did was I rolled this up. Let's see, it goes behind it, it goes behind the, so for you guys, if you ever decide to do this, I use this concept, and it seemed to work pretty good. So I just roll this up like this. I really can't roll it up any further now because but with this, the string has all these little ties, right? So what I would do is I would take a loop, and I will put it over this T-pin that's up here, if I can get it up there, and that would hold it. That would hold the paper. Come on, work. Don't make me look, no. Anyway, that holds it, and as I would work down, I would lower it. And the reason why I did that is because I didn't want it to get, I didn't know, I just wanted it out of the way. And so far I think it looks pretty good. Far away it looks great. And there'll be little pieces where I'll have to touch up, but that's no big deal. I really like it. I really like how it's come out. I've never taken any classes in this. I just kind of knew how to do this, but I would like to. There's a gal on that she's really famous with collage. There's 2 of them, and this one, she should know their names. But there are 2 gals that I've seen on YouTube that are really, really good. They're really great collage artists. Oh, it's just the collages they make, they look so real. And there's one lady that had done this giant dinosaur collage and she hung it up on her wall. It's huge. I mean, this is a giant dinosaur. And all the plant life and everything, it looked really cool. And it's all collage. And there is a way to put in like a quilt or a background to this, but like I said, I didn't want to focus my energy or the energy of this away from the tree and the family. Plus it will be surrounded with like 10 by 10 strips of fabric with pictures and like frames around them, so that'll be colorful enough. And also the leaves, and the leaves are going to be maple leaves, so they'll be big. And I haven't really decided if they're going to be a collage leaf. If I put up the leaves and it looks kind of tacky, then I'll build some collage leaves and put it on, you know, kind of stick with the collage thing. But anyway, so what I will do, I will go over there and start peeling away that area. And, you know, some of the branches might come off. And like I said, I've been cutting the paper off as I go. And so I'll just like move the pin down here and keep it. And I will just cut. Like I said, this wasn't how I really wanted to do it, but that's the way it came out. So anyway, you know, when you are doing things on your own the first time or whatever, and you're trying to figure it out, you know, it's just like, I really wanted to peel it off, but couldn't do it. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut around. Maybe if I would have used the parchment paper, you know, it's kind of like wax paper, but parchment paper, it probably would have worked better. But I don't know, because I didn't go down that road. Next time I will, if I do this again. If I do this again, it'll be a smaller picture, not some giant picture. So, all right. So let's see how it goes. So what I did was I started off with the furthest one out, kind of peel off like that. This one. And then this one. And then there's another part of the branch under that one. And this one. Oops. That sticky stuff is not coming off with it. Right. That's what's making the noise, because it's, you know, the sticky stuff is stuck to the paper. So I kind of want to keep it on the fabric. And it could be too, because I tried ironing it, so.
The room temperature is 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
See that? See? Looks good, huh? Okay, so. All right, so my scissors. Let's peel it back to that point. Cut this away. And try to get that all the way down there. Oh well, might as well continue, right? So I'm pinning as I go, and all right. So not all the sticky parts came off. And I'll pin this down. Pin this one down here. Now, let's see what we have here. How about that? That looks pretty cool, huh? And you know what's cool about this? Like, you know, if there is a pucker here, you take the iron and you just go over the pucker and it kind of makes it look like part of the stump, or I mean part of the branch, you know. It's like, it's not, branches have all kinds of wrinkle looking things and veins or whatever, you know, the bark, how the bark grows. And so I thought, well, that kind of looks more like a little realistic when you can iron this wrinkle in. Why not? It looks cool to me. It gives it a two-dimensional, instead of being flat, it's two-dimensional on there. I know. But, so what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and remove this and all together, because I really don't need it now. But it was a good idea, I think. I was trying to mull around in my brain, how am I gonna do this and how am I gonna do that? And I'd be talking to my sister and she'd say, oh, Joan, you'll figure it out. You always do. And, you know, I left this hanging here with some background, and my husband, he'll come in and he'll give me suggestions and stuff. And he really hadn't said anything. I know he saw it, but he didn't really say anything. And then the other day, or the other night, I just said, you know, and I told him what I was going to do, and he goes, you know, I didn't want to say anything, but you're right. It doesn't need a background. It made it too busy. And I says, I agree. Yeah. Anyway. But it helps to have, you know, somebody else giving you, you know, advice. And because, you know, what I see, like I say, what I see and what you see can be two different things. It's like looking at yourself in the mirror, or like you're like me right now. You know, it's funny how our mind is, and we're talking behind our face. And then when you look in the mirror, you go, who's that? Oh, gosh. All right. Okay, this one is really stuck. Okay. You can do it. You can do it. I started making a couple videos back. I did a fabric haul using the word haul. My husband goes, you spelled that wrong. I said, well, there's nothing I can do about it when you know, it's already out there in La La Land. But so I'm making a purse out of some of that interior what is it called? My friend was telling me, but anyway, it's kind of like a tapestry type fabric, and I cut some up and I made little purses out of it, and I'm making a big purse, but it's taking me a while, so I can show you that, but it's not totally done. And then I thought, oh, I gotta get this white purse done. Yeah. Sometimes I put myself up against the wall, or a lot of times I do. And I'm in here every day working too. It's just that I have a lot to work on. Okay, now see how it's just kind of like hanging there? But if you just put it there, it's there. See, and this is just layers of fabric. Let me cut it so it doesn't look so distorted. Okay. Yeah, this is just layers upon layers upon layers of fabric. And yeah, I was really kind of hoping I could just seal it down there like that without it coming apart, but you know what? It just came apart, but that's okay. We can just put it back together again. Put that there for right now. Oh dear. Came apart. But that's okay. Because we can fix it. Just like that. Right there. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just folding it off. I know it's taking a little bit of while. Oh, today our weather is kind of like overcast. It says on my phone that it's going to be sunny, but it's like overcast today. And we got some new chickens. We got baby chickens. We got 5 of them. They're like 5 weeks old. My son was raising them. We got them when they were little, just hatched, and he had been raising them. But the weather is so warm right now. It's humid because we live in the south, and it's too hot to put them under the lights. And plus, they have their feathers, so they're good. It's just that one of them has a bent beak. Or actually it's called a it's a scissor beak, or a twisted beak, however, you know. But I read about it, and it said that the reason why some chicks will get, and it's usually around 5 to 10 months, or no, weeks, not months, is because they're lacking vitamin D and some nutrients in their diet. And, you know, I'm thinking, too, it could have been the mom when she laid. You know, maybe she was lacking it. None of the other chickens have it. It's just her. So, I did read that there is a way to help it. You know, their beaks are like our fingernails. You just go out there, you know, somebody will hold it, and then you take the beak, and where the white part is at the end of the beak, you trim that, you just cut it a little bit, and then you can take like a Dremel or like a, let's see, what is it? A nail file or something, and you just file it. And I guess you can kind of retrain that beak to go back normal. The only thing is, hers is kind of crisscrossed like an X. She can eat. She's eating fine. It's just that I think down the road, the other chickens will bully her. And they have a tendency, you know, it's the pecking order. And I already have a bully chicken, female. And so it would just give her some more ammo, you know. So anyway, okay, let's see where we stand in this. Well, as you can see, it's going to take a little bit of work to get it all off. I was kind of hoping I could get it all off and show you. But it does take a little bit of work on this. And fortunately, I do have a picture, so I can kind of go back and look at the picture. And there was a piece of fabric that came off of there. Here. Put that there, you know, just fill in the spots that came off. And yeah, so let's see, here's one. Still on the floor? No, that's not it. Anyway, yeah, so yeah. It still looks like a tree. I'm still liking it. And I'll just go and fill in the areas that when I was pulling it off. And it's still, yeah, I can still see. You know, I really like this. It's really cool. It, I just like the different shades and how it looks really realistic, and it's just not like a tree. But you can't see that one up there. But it's my Winnie the Pooh quilt that I made. Okay, so I hope you have a good day. So my next project on this will be making the bottom, the grass. It'll be like a collage grass. And then I'll probably be working on the leaves. And then, you know, eventually it'll get to the point where I'm doing the borders, but that'll be a ways off. So, oh, let me show you really quick my little purses I've been making. Started making. Haven't finished yet, obviously. But, so, this is, I made 2 little purses. It's like makeup bags out of that fabric that I did on the fabric haul. And it was a big piece of fabric. And so I cut out squares because the squares like were flowery, and then I used some other fabric. I have other upholstery fabric samples that you know, like if you go pick up colors at interior decorators. And this is what this kind of fabric is. And they are lined. They have lining in them. This silky stuff that I got, the silky fabric that I got, I put that in there because I thought that was pretty cool looking. And then this one is also lined with just regular cotton fabric, cotton lining. See? Yeah. And then I'm working on this big one here. And I'm kind of been throwing it around. So this is the lining, or that's the, yeah, the inside of it. So I made my own straps out of some of the, you know, the lining out of some of the fabrics. This is the inside of the bag, and this is the outside now. I boxed the corners. So this would be what it looks like. And it has has a little gold, says homemade. But, and then this would be the lining that goes inside of it, so it matches the handle. Well, that's on crooked. Well, I guess I'm going to be taking that off. Okay. Oh, geez. Well, who's going to know it, right? I'll take it off and put it back on, right? And then there's another one, another pocket here. The pockets are quite big. I like big pockets in purses. That way, you know, if you have important papers and stuff, or you can put your cell phone in. And this one, even though it's crooked, it's got individual pockets here. So you got a pocket here, you know, your cell phone or keys or whatever will go in there. So this is so you turn it right side out like that, see? And you insert the bag inside this bag like that. So isn't that cute? I really like it. And so my thinking is, and this is the zipper. So what I want to do is make like a hidden zipper. So what I do is this is the zipper. Oh, and then I'm also putting in a double pocket zipper. So in the center, it'll have a huge pocket, and it'll open up and it'll be zippered shut, you know. It'll have a zipper on it, right? And then this will be zippered shut. But in order to make it, I would sew small, like 2-inch sides, 2.5 inch pieces of fabric along here, and then you sew it onto the lining fabric, and then the lining fabric would zipper close. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying. I'm sewing along, and I go, yeah, I like this. And I thought, you know, I'd really like to put a zipper in here, and these are called continuous zippers. They I haven't sewed it yet, but the thingies come off, and you just put them back on. You can just put them back on. They're really, really, really easy to put back on. Sometimes. I think I might have done a video on it, but I don't know if I even posted that. But you get these zippers in long rolls, and you just put the zippers on, lock that, and then, oops, I didn't have my glasses on. Where are they? Oh, it's right up there. I forget that my glasses are on my head. So do you have a garden this year? We have, every year we have a garden, a vegetable garden. And we're growing corn, different types of corn. Long beans. Long beans are kind of similar to like string beans, but they're really long. They're sort of like, see, I got it back on. They're sort of like, they're about this long. And they're kind of like ropes. So I love them. To me, they have a better flavor than a regular string bean does. And when I harvest them, I'll bring them in and I'll blanch them and freeze them. So whenever I make stews, stir fry, whatever, and I want string beans, I use those. And I just chop them up and stick them in my stews or whatever I'm cooking. And that's basically, that and greens is basically what we live on in the winter. I mean, you know, we'll get others, but it's a great go-to when, you know, having your freezer full of string beans or whatever, corn, you know, whatever. But we've always had gardens the whole time. I mean, we just have vegetable gardens. It's just the way to go if you can. So we have living in the South, we grow okra, and we grow eggplant. I know a lot of people do. Peppers, cucumbers, lettuce, kale, onions galore, and we have tomato plants galore. And that's my fault because I always start a bunch of tomato plants. And yeah, so we're busy, and then now we have 5 new baby chickens. So, and we have 4 other older chickens. I've lost so far 4 chickens that have passed away, and it is not like a virus or anything. It's like they can get really stressed out easily, like if they're being bullied by another chicken, or you know, heat exhaustion, whatever. You know, there's always something that can you know, because they're so fragile. And we never eat our chickens. We don't kill them or anything. They're just for eggs. And of course their eggs are beautiful. And so this year when I ordered some more chickens, I wanted like an Easter egg type, you know, so you get the green and the blue and different color whites. I mean, I know you can get white in the store and you can get brown, but the majority of our eggs are brown, but I wanted to kind of mix it up. And then when you get different color eggs, you also get different looking chickens too. You know, like this one that's got the crooked beak, like that. That's how her beak is. Poor thing. She does open it, and she is just as fat as all the other chickens, so she is eating, but I just want to make it to go back this way. So I'm going to start working on it so it'll open like that. And then yeah, so I have 3 of them that kind of look like hawks, because they're the feathers, the colors of their feathers are kind of a light brown, where the body part of their flock. Now, don't ask me what kind they are because I have no clue. I just kind of went through. There was a guide on, and I just saw what I liked and I ordered them, and they're pretty pricey, believe it or not. Chickens used to be like, I don't know, $2 a piece. The chicks now they're like $5 or so each. So anyway, I just got a few, but they're cute. And then there's one that's kind of, she's got a lot of browns and I don't know, different colors in her. She's kind of pretty, but kind of, yeah. So yeah, I just wanted a little variety. The other ones I have are Buffingtons, and they're black. And then one is a gold buff. And then I also have a brown, which she looks like she's part red. She's not Rhode Island red. She's part that and something else. Anyway, they all have their personalities, and I don't name them because I'd never remember their names. The only ones I name are the ones that are troublemakers, like this one that goes around and attacks. You know, she's the pecking order. She's the boss. So. And I have no roosters. So if you have roosters, then, you know, that will make noise in your neighborhood, and you don't, I don't want people knowing you got chickens or whatever. But anyway, I like it. It's not really that expensive to, you know, take care of them. The feed lasts a long time. I have a friend that has 30 chickens. Now that would be, and she gets like 18 eggs a day. I get like 3 eggs a day right now. So we have enough, and then we usually save the eggs and share them with friends and neighbors and that sort of thing. And yeah, so, and it's always nice to have fresh eggs, right? So I don't even know what it costs in the store anymore. In fact, the gal that I know that has 30 chickens, but she lives out in the sticks, she was selling her eggs, and she is selling them because she needs to pay for, you know, the feed. And so finally she would just tell people, just give me what you can. So I bought 18 eggs from her the other day. Not that I need eggs, but I felt sorry for her. You know, she's got all these eggs and nobody wants to buy them, right? I don't know why. So I gave her $5 for the eggs, for 18 eggs, but they're all fresh. And I know that's a lot of money. I mean, you know, whatever, but she used to sell them for $10, you know, when we had that shortage. And people were paying that for those eggs because they were fresh. But now she's lowered her price. So anyway, so I'm going to continue taking the paper off of this. And so the next time you'll see it, it'll be paperless. And it'll be all stuck. And yeah, I'll just fix those areas that need to be fixed. And it should be looking good. So I hope you like this video, and I enjoy sharing my time with you, and I'm sorry it took me so long to get back. Like I said, I've been working on this and trying to get it so I didn't want to use an ugly background. I just couldn't get it together, and I'm really sorry because I know I was really focusing and I just couldn't do it. So anyway, but I think in the end it'll look good, and I know that my daughter and grandson will really appreciate it once it's all done. So it was good talking. I really enjoyed myself today. I hope you did. And also, I have 28 subscribers. I'm very jazzed about that. And if you are first time to my program or my channel, you can give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment in you know, there's an area where you can put your comment in. You can say, hi, Joan, or, you know, ask me questions, anything, you know, as long as it's nice, right? And then you can subscribe. And if you subscribe, the bell will ring, and then it lets the YouTube channel share my videos with more people. So and it'll let you know when I post a new one too. So it's all good. Anyway, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your days. I mean, you know, it's just, they're so beautiful, even though it rains. Here we get tornadoes once in a while. Fortunately, my neighbor next door to me, she said, oh yeah, we always get them. We get the warnings, but so far, knock on wood, we haven't had it. And she said, I've been living here all my life. So she's like in her 50s. But anyway, so, but when there is a warning, a tornado warning, I'm looking for a place to go. I lived on the West Coast, so we never had tornadoes, but we did have earthquakes, and but never, you know, I lived in San Diego, and I know, like in LA, Los Angeles area, the earthquakes are really bad, but not so much in San Diego. So, you know, lived through that. But now that we live in Georgia, you know, we get the tornado warnings, and we also get a lot of rain. I mean, it rains like cats and dogs here. And it comes down quick and is like cats and dogs, is what I call it. And some flooding, and we've lost a tree back in the end of 22. Tree came down and smashed our brand new car. That was exciting. But anyway, there's trees across the street, falling. Several of them have fallen. Anyway, but we love it here. We really do. But good talking. I enjoyed myself, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Come on, clicker, work. I have this little clicker thing, and it's supposed to work. Maybe I'm not aiming it right.